The Sunshine Double is complete. We're looking back at the biggest moments from the Miami Open and looking ahead to the clay events that you should be watching. The break starts right now. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Guy. You're watching The Break. After almost a month of non-stop tennis from Indian Wells and Miami, we've come to the end of another incredible Sunshine Double. Before we look ahead to the clay, let's look back at what you may have missed over the last 2 weeks. Before the Miami Open began, we knew the men's draw would be without the world number one as Novak Djokovic announced he would skip the event following his third-round loss at Indian Wells. After that announcement, we learned that Novak was parting ways with his longtime coach, Goran Ivanisevic, after 5 years. Simona Halep made a return to pro tennis after a successful appeal reduced her doping ban from 4 years to just 9 months. She lost to Badosa in 3 sets, but said, "This day will always feel like a victory." Simona's next event would have been the Billie Jean King Cup on April 12th, but on Saturday we learned that physical problems would keep her away. Kei Nishikori also made his return to pro tennis. He'd been away from the tour for 8 months following a series of injury setbacks. We're glad to see the 34-year-old back on court. 23-year-old Tomas Berdych proved why he's one to watch this season. A year ago, he was ranked 143 in the world. Big wins over Andre Rublev and Andy Murray brought him to his first Masters quarterfinal and to a career-high rank of 60. Speaking of Murray, he shared some bad news following his loss to the young Czech star. During the match, he injured his left ankle, resulting in tears in 2 ligaments. Andy shared on his Instagram, "Goes without saying this is a tough one to take and I'll be out for an extended period. We're wishing Sir Andy Murray a speedy recovery." And we had some history-making champions at the Miami Open. Danielle Collins became the lowest-ranked woman to lift the trophy in Miami, while Rohan Bopanna can celebrate being the oldest Masters 1000 winner at age 44, breaking his own record set in Indian Wells just last year. All right, the Miami Open is wrapped, but we all know tennis is non-stop. The pros are headed to the clay for the next few months. Let's look ahead to our first few tournaments on the dirt. The men travel to Portugal for the Estoril Open, a 250 event that will see Casper Ruud, Gael Monfils, Hubert Hurkacz, and Dominic Thiem in action.
Hello everybody.
Thiem shared on Instagram recently that he'd sustained a wrist injury during a training block at the start of the year. After pulling out of the Napoli Challenger, he'll look ahead to Estoril to regain some vintage form. His opening round match is currently scheduled for Monday, April 1st. Novak Djokovic will have a few more days of lead time before taking to the clay. He shared this video on Instagram of a training session in preparation for the Monte Carlo Masters, an event that begins on April 7th. While Novak and Thiem take to the clay in Europe, the big names of the WTA are staying stateside to play on the green stuff in Charleston. The 500-level tournament kicks off this week and features Jess Pegula, Ons Jabeur, Danielle Collins, and Elina Svitolina. Elina gave us an inside look at her practice before the tournament began. It was at this event last year where she made her return to pro tennis following maternity leave. 1 year later, and she's back as the 7th seed. Live coverage from Estoril begins Monday, April 1st at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on Tennis Channel Plus, while coverage from the Charleston Open begins on April 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Tennis Channel and Tennis Channel Plus. We'll see you next time.